Good day everyone, I am your teacher Johnson and I will be the one who will discuss this morning. But before we proceed to our topic for today, I want you to pick a piece of candies from this box. Alright, so after you pick, is there any candies left? None? And what happened to those students who haven't picked yet? They feel sad. How about those students who pick a lot? Alright, they feel happy because they have a lot of candies. Alright, next one. I want you to observe these images. So first image. It is a cutting trees. How about this one? Overfishing. Correct. And lastly, we have polluted rivers. So what happened? What happened to these images nga na-inaniman sila? First one is cutting trees. Anong mag-cut man dyan ang tao? Over fishing. Why people do overfishing? And also why people didn't care about the environment? Because of solid waste. Because of what? Right, so this morning, I want you to open your minds and focus on what I want to discuss. So for our topic for today is all about human behavior and sustainability. So first one, in psychology behind the tragedy, we have the human nature and self-interest. So, human nature and self-interest, people often act based on personal benefits. Correct. When resources are shared, individuals may prioritize their own needs without thinking about the effects on others, like this one, overfishing. Next one, we have if I don't use it, someone else will use it mindset. This mindset causes people to overuse resources because they fear losing opportunities, even if it leads to environmental damages. Next one, we have short-term benefit versus long-term harm. Immediate benefits such as excessive fishing or water use may seem helpful now, but they result in resource depletion and long-term harm. Alright, that was the short-term benefits. This one, it is example of short-term benefits. Like mawatag trees to create a shelter, but after that, if there's a storm coming, so direct ng baha. That's example of short-term benefits versus long-term harm. Alright. Next one, we have importance of cooperation and empathy. Cooperation and empathy help people understand how their actions affect others and encourage shared responsibility in protecting resources. So that was the importance of cooperation and empathy in order for us to get the responsibility to protect and to care our environment. Alright, let's proceed to building sustainability and shared responsibility. So, it is the ways to encourage sustainable habits. First, we have recycling, conservation, and community cleanups. So, it reduces waste and protect the environment. That one. Next one, we have role of schools and education in changing mindsets. So school plays a vital role in shaping values by teaching environmental awareness and sustainable practices. So we, as a future teacher, we need to study about what we can do or we can help in order for us so to open the mind of the people. And next one, we have examples of communities working together successfully. Right. Communities that set rules, monitor resource use, and cooperate can protect shared resource effectively. And now let's proceed to create personal and collective accountability. So sustainability requires both individual responsibility and community commitment to follow agreed rules in order for us to care the environment. So now, how does human behavior such as self-interest and short-term thinking affect the sustainability of shared resources? Alright, human behavior driven by self-interest and short-term thinking often leads to overuse of shared resources. When individuals focus only on immediate benefits and ignore long-term consequences, resources become depleted because environmental damages and reducing availability for future generation. And why is cooperation and shared responsibility important in preventing the overuse of community and environmental resources? Alright, cooperation and shared responsibility ensure that everyone follows agreed rules and use resources fairly. When communities work together, they can monitor resource use, prevent misuse, and protect shared resources for long-term sustainability. And how can actions like recycling, conservation, community cleanups, or efforts help build a more sustainable environment for everyone? Because recycling and conservation reduce waste and protect natural resources, while community efforts promote awareness and collective actions. This practice helps preserve the environment, improve community well-being, and ensure resources remain available for future generation that we need to protect, and it needs more care. Alright, let's proceed to local and global perspective. So, in local community examples, we have barangay waste management, shared water supply or overfishing areas, maintaining cleanliness in public areas, local initiatives that reduce overuse of resources, how community cooperations prevent tragedy. So, in barangay waste management affects cleanliness, health, and flooding, while in shared water supply or fishing areas can be depleted if overused. Maintaining cleanliness in public areas requires cooperation and local initiatives that reduce overuse of resources. So, how can community cooperation prevent tragedy? Working together ensure community working together ensure fair use of resources and prevents environmental damages. And now, let's proceed to global international examples. So first, we have the most common one, climate change. Climate change is caused by pollution and overuse of resources. Ocean overfishing threatens flood supply worldwide. And lastly, we have air pollution and global warming affect health and ecosystem. Global warming. So, how can global issues affect and well-being of the community? Alright, for waste management and resource misuse can cause health problems. loss of livelihood, and environmental damages. And also, in what ways can community cooperation help prevent overuse of resources? Okay, correct. By setting shared rules, monitoring use, and educating members, community can manage resources responsibly. And lastly, how do global problems connect to local action? Alright, global environmental issues are the result of repeated local actions. Sustainable practices at the local level create positive global impact. So overall, we are the responsible in order to care, to manage the resources that Mother Earth have given to us. So that was the discussion in this afternoon. Goodbye and thank you for listening.